afternoon everyone, welcome to Gendera. I'm Gerwin and that water you can hear running is coming from our dam. As you might be able to tell behind me, the ground is looking very dry. So Gavin and I have organised to pump water from our dam up to the paddocks because we've run out of water. Well, we haven't run out of water, but we haven't got enough drinking water to be able to use that for the gardens as well. So this is water that's coming from the dam. So we've got a pump up at the dam that's pumping water from there, and I'll show you what we've got set up in a second. But there's some exciting stuff happening in the garden as well, which is really cool. I've got a lot more trees and blueberries planted along there. I just need to mulch in between that macadamia and the apple tree, but I got them planted. Got a few over there too, and I've moved the blueberries that I need to plant and pop them onto gardens so that when I'm watering the blueberries, I'm actually watering the garden at the same time. Everything is just doing really, really well, and we actually do have some rain that's about to come too, which is really great. It'll just help our drinking water situation. So yes, for this we are just about to start spring. So it's the end of winter at the moment here, and winter is our drier season. So I don't know if that pineapple's going to do anything. It may not, but hey, what do you know? What do? You just give these things a try. Now I'm just going to get some of this hose off the driveway, because you may notice, or you may not, that this hose is a much wider diameter than a normal garden hose. So, and the reason I've done that is so I get a decent flow of water, because otherwise I don't get any water pressure at all, and I stand here for hours just watering each plant. So I'll just pop that down there for a minute and I'll show you what we've got happening. Okay, so we have this big pipe, I think it's an inch diameter, and we've got this running all the way from the dam, 150 odd meters that way, and there's a connection at the back of in the backyard for an IBC there, and then we've got this connection here, and we're going to have 4 IBCs up on top of IBC cages so that I've got some gravity pressure, and that's going to be our water supply for the garden. So, and I've got the thicker garden pipe here. You can see some of these fittings over here, show you what normal. So that's a normal garden hose compared to that one. It's a much bigger pipe. But we've got to get some more fittings so that we can connect these all up. So we'll have 4,000 litres of water. I mean, the water's not perfect, it's muddy water from the dam, but the plants aren't going to care. So I've got big long hoses everywhere. And we're going to be moving that IBC and putting it up on the stands. So at the moment I'm draining that, and I've moved some more of my blueberries over here, under here, in here where I've got a coffee, a pepino and a blueberry planted. So got those plants there. My mushrooms are doing well, not as well as they have previously, but at the moment I'm draining that IBC into the garden bed over here. I'll show you how the garden's doing here. It's doing really well. The canna lily's starting to come up, the mango's got some new leaves. It's all doing really well. So, and I've just planted one of my grapevines. Well, 2 of the grapevines actually have come out of dormancy, have started sprouting. This is one that Gavin gave me. I finally got that planted, so it's a sultana, sometimes known as Thompson seedless, sweet, very sweet white grape. So I just got that planted and mulched today, and I've put a couple of blueberries, along here to start softening up that ground. I put a sweet potato slip, well, it was actually a sweet potato that had sprouts on it. I chucked that in the ground months ago and it's finally come through. So I've got a couple of blueberries there, and I've got my strawberry with an asparagus that's just come out of dormancy as well. And I'm going to plant that in there, but the ground's just a bit hard at the moment, so I've softened that up a bit with running some water on it. And I just planted a rose there that Gavin gave me for Mother's Day. Or was it my birthday? Might have been my birthday. No, it was Mother's Day because I got it when I got the goats. And another rose there, I need to mulch that. And this grapevine, which we don't really like the flavour of, but it's probably really good for us. It's come back to life as well. The asparagus I planted there hasn't started to spring up yet. The comfrey's doing well. Down here, my comfrey's doing well again. And the strawberries are doing okay. They get crowded out by grass every now and then, so I've got to come out and weed it. That asparagus also hasn't come up, but that little one, that one has, so that's doing really well. That's the grapevine I got from Sandy Toes from Adorn. It hasn't come out of dormancy. I'm hoping it's going to, and it hasn't died. But I've got some more watering to do, and I need to empty out water from that IBC as well, so that we can put that up on those stands out the front and make it so that it's holding water. So, and it should, those IBCs, I'll be able to water everything out the front here as well. So my big long hose will come out here. So yes, lots of progress. I really want to get some wood chips on that and some wood chips on that one. And I want to put some wood chips underneath that strawberry and asparagus. So that asparagus has just come out of, that's its first spear for the year. So for the season, I should say. So really pleased about that, but that's telling me I need to get it in the dirt. So yes. And I've just got those blueberries there so that I'm watering this bed more. But yes, there's definitely, hopefully some decent rain coming. It's been a long time since we've had any rain. The ground is really dry. Here's not too bad because it gets grey water from the caravan as well as from the house. The backyard's shocking though. Everything is just so dry. So dry. The chickens are having fun out here scratching around. So it's good. They're probably going to get a bit wet with this rain actually. I need to get some more tarpaulins for them. But yeah, so we're making progress and I'm really pleased with this new setup. I don't think watering is going to take much longer. It's just, oh, it probably will. I may or may not be using more water or not. I don't know. But I'll be able to use more water because I've got a really full dam. And there's a pussycat. Say hello to Manzo. Oh, Manzo. Manzo. Oh, damn it. Oh, Manzo's focused on something else. So, turn this water back on. Because I had to turn it off because Gavin was driving out the driveway. So yeah, and I've got this here because this hose is quite heavy and I didn't want to damage the fittings for the IBC, so I figured just putting that little bit of string there would help give it some support. That's the theory anyway. That's the theory. That's the theory. I'm not sure how much water it takes to water the garden, but that's the amount of pressure I'm getting. And I'm reasonably happy with it. And check it out. My iris is flowering. So happy about that. Love irises, one of my favourite flowers. I can't remember what else exciting's been happening. There's something else. My mulberry's got fruit starting to form. Lots of other people I know have actually got fruit already, but my goats ate my mulberry trees that fruited early, so this one started getting its leaves and fruiting much later than the other mulberries in the yard. So it's the only one that the goats didn't demolish and eat all of its leaves. So as you can see, this one's one of the ones that the goats demolished, and the leaves are just starting to bud back again. So yeah, don't think I can do this one-handed. I might be able to. Let's see how I go, huh? No, can't do it one-handed. I'll be back in a second. I think I need to come back and water that section, but I've got that connected now. So now I can go back to that. I just had to take it off the driveway because I didn't want Gavin driving over the hose. And he's gone out to the hardware store to pick up some fittings so that we can connect everything together. So go back to my watering. My daylilies are all starting to come up nicely, and the calendula, Matthew's calendula, is doing fantastically. Really pleased with that. None of the gladiolos are starting to flower yet, but that's okay. It's going to take some time. But everything is just, it's doing really well. I'm really, really pleased. And everything is quite, I mean, the paddocks aren't too bad because the goats have been out there watering with their urine and we've been moving them around, at least this section anyway. But over there, that is very, very dry. See, it's not great, and most of the property is actually looking like that, unless it's got the really tall grass and I've had a water leak somewhere or something. But the orange tree is doing well, so my navel orange, oh, I think that's starting to flower. It is, it's got some blossoms coming up. Honestly, I should probably pick those off so that it gets its roots established better. I don't really want it flowering and fruiting just this year. I want to hold off on letting these citrus trees fruit for at least this first year, just so that they put more of their energy and effort into growing roots rather than growing fruit. Yeah, anyway, I better focus on my watering and counting. So I stand here for about 20 seconds on each tree and go from there, and I'll just adjust as the season goes on as to how the plants are going and whether or not they need more water, which is part of the reason why I've planted comfrey at most of my fruit trees, because it's a really good indicator to let me know that the trees need watering. Because if the comfrey's wilted, then the tree's struggling as well. So yeah, anyway, I better get to it. But my food forest is starting to take shape. So pleased. I've got apple tree, I've got a 3-way apple over there, a pear over there, macadamia, heap of blueberries, mulberries, moringa, citrus trees. Yeah, it's all coming along nicely and making progress. And that looks like it's actually a fairly decent storm over there. I don't know whether we'll get all that. We might have missed a lot of this because it looks like it's actually past us. That would be really sad if we've missed all of that rain. It looks like it's heading towards Ipswich and we might not get any. That would be sad. That would be sad, but not tragic. We'll cope. And we'll just keep implementing some of these water saving methods. I may even put some Oyas in here at some point, like I have out the back next to the mulberry tree out there. I'll just see how we go, because we do get very hot summers out here, and we're just going to see how we go from there. But yeah, I should give you a little bit of an update on the chicks and the goats while I'm at it, shouldn't I? Okay, we'll have a look in a little bit. The little chickies are doing well. It's a little bit hard to record them when they're in the brooder box, but here they are, happily chirping along. I did put them out in the grass a couple of days ago and they really enjoyed that. They're all doing really well, and I'll pop them out on the grass again tomorrow too. But that's the chick update. Now I'm going to go milk the goat. Jonathan's just giving Gwen her dinner, and little Ruth is very excited. She is 11 days old now, and is super bouncy. Super bouncy. But I better get Evie on the chain, on the lead, before Jonathan lets her escape. We had goat issues the other day. So, anyway.